Hi there. I swear if there's no access to toilet rolls soon, social distancing will be taking care of itself, if you know what I mean. The problem is, of course, now the nutters have done enough ransacking of the shelves at the start of all this, as soon as there's more, people who may have thought they'd had enough might buy just one more pack, because the shelf has been bare so long they don't know when the next lot will be there. And bibbity-bobbity-boo, just like magic, empty shelves again. Poor Mr. Muggins, who still has a job, will be in later this afternoon, and there'll be bare shelves again, and the missus won't be impressed. Only one of them allowed out and all, because, of course, savvy shoppers with half a brain cell or more than one kid to feed can get around the stringent shopping restrictions currently in force by just leaving the store and going back in to buy that third can of baked beans they simply must have, along with more pasta, long-life milk, sugar, rice, and any number of other items you can only get one or two of on your first visit. Oh well, I'm sure the intent is there to attempt to hold more stock so people don't get so alarmed at the empty shelves. Mind you, with the amount of restaurants closing, you'd think they'd be filling up again. You know, Mr. Muggins, who has only been able to get a few things this visit due to the bare shelves again, has to marvel at the checkout though, with the operator constantly wringing their hands in a deluge of alcohol and furiously wiping down the conveyors. They've instigated a rule of customers filling their own bags after scanning and don't want to take cash because it might be a carrier. So while the operator religiously goes back to their employer-induced obsessive-compulsive disorder and Mr. Muggins is trying to juggle putting items on the conveyor belt at one end and then going over to fill his bags and back again, he can't help but mention the ridiculousness of the situation. Oh, he knows it's not their fault. But hey, they've just handled all the food packages, so he's sure putting them in the bags isn't going to get them any more infected. They can still wipe everything down afterwards. Maybe they could just wipe down and disinfect his cash while he packs the bags himself. No? Maybe let him bring a family member in so one can pack while the other one... No, not recommended, eh? Not wanting to hold the other shoppers up any more than necessary while he dashes to and from his basket to the bags, he breathlessly inquires who's keeping the shoppers safe apart from the hastily taped X's on the floor for social distancing. For instance, who wipes down the trolley or basket after each use? Who wipes down the EFT keypad after each customer uses or taps it? Who's cleaning down the self-checkout area after each transaction? Don't know, comes the bored reply from the seemingly unconcerned operator, and there's nothing left to do but be wished a nice day as they reach for the alcohol sanitizer once more before the next client is beckoned forth from their temporary isolation. Blimey, there I go digressing again, and this rant's meant to be about surveillance. By the way, did that title bring back a bit of nostalgia for that 1984 hit? Pretty pertinent lyrics with a Michael Jackson hook that could fit right in with today's world, don't you think? The thing is though, with all that's going on, we forgot all about those smart devices that were all the rage a couple of years ago, didn't we? At the time, the algorithmic world was probably completing its files on our daily routines, using all those cameras in the street and workplace to watch us going back and forth from work and what we did and what we said while we were out and about. But it was lacking a lot of the home stuff still. After all, most people were out during the day and probably not much in a mood for chit-chat when they got back home. Or maybe they were confiding in their mates while de-stressing down at the pub. All that lost data. But hey, look at us now. All those Cortanas, Echo Dots, Alexas, Siris, either built into operating systems that automatically updated at the most inappropriate times, or little unobtrusive information butlers that could find out humorous facts or play music from our library by merely mentioning their name. Cool, eh? And cheap, or free with any purchase leading up to what's happened. That's a nice coincidence, isn't it? Of course, we learned it's a two-way street, didn't we? Always listening, always sending telemetry, and guess what they're learning now? While people are home, these little tattletales are sending off their packets of data to their masters all the time. What are you doing? Who are you talking to? Who and how many people are in your home? Are you finding this all stressful? Do you believe the story? Now that you can't meet up in groups, what are you typing? What are you Skyping? Now that you can't go out more than once a day, are you able to cope? Are you losing hope? Did you remember the soap? Are you seeing ads suddenly pop up about rhyming being one of the first signs of going stir-crazy? Are you being reported for questioning a supermarket's policies with Mrs. Muggins? Are you becoming dissonant? It's certainly interesting times, isn't it? So many things coming to a head all at once. In the future, though, after you've thrown out or neutered these insidious devices, might I suggest you don't take your mobile phone if you go out for a walk or a drive? I'm sure the police might soon have the power to track you with the extra powers they're asking for everyone's safety, you understand. Now, I don't want to feed any paranoia you might have, but if you find a drone above your head while taking a walk in the middle of nowhere, telling you to go back to your vehicle, well, it's interesting they just happen to be there, isn't it?